Here's Jakey. You want to look towards the camera? Want to look at everybody? This way. All right. So I'll give a little update. See how his right eye is misshapen a bit? This one over here. See how it's kind of squinty? Now you can't see, probably can't see exactly, but you can see that there's something different. His left eye is totally normal. I'm going to go over his diagnosis. Let's see how this cam looks. Let's go a little higher. There we go. All right, I just put him in the brown bed. Hi, Elwood. What's up, bud? Let's pull up chat. Okay. Oh, thanks, Dr. J, for CCing. Okay. So, Jake's left eye is totally normal. Nothing wrong with it. His right eye does have entropion. So we did suspect that. It's been confirmed, entropion. So let me just briefly say what entropion is. Entropion is when one of the lids, it could be the top, it could be the bottom, folds inward towards the eye. And because of that, the eyelashes, because the lid is folded inward, the eyelashes scrape along the surface of the eye. It is painful. It can cause ulcers, and ultimately, if untreated, can cause blindness. So it's something that we need to address, not ignore. I'll talk about next steps in a minute. So we have the diagnosis. For the last maybe 3 weeks, Jake has been getting an eye ointment 3 times a day. That has helped lubricate that eye, similar to a Vaseline or petroleum type moisturizer. And if you look at pictures from when Jake first got here and his eye was barely open, had quite a bit of discharge, crusty discharge, really looked pretty wonky compared to, there's a photo I just posted, I think this morning in his album, where, or even just seeing it on cam just now, you can see that his eye, his right eye is shaped a bit differently, but does not look too serious. It's not infected. He has no ulcers. There's, he has full sight. There's no scarring. So his right eye is actually in really good shape so far. that's good news. So there is surgery to correct entropion, and that's what we're going to move forward with for Jake. It kind of pulls the eyelid back out, and there's some stitches involved, but it's not too complicated of a surgery, which is good news. It's pretty straightforward. So the only thing that we need to wait on is for Jake to get a little bit bigger. He's getting close to that 2 pounds, but his doctor wants to see him at least 2 pounds before the surgery. So we've scheduled his entropion surgery for September 2nd. And his eye doctor will perform the entropion surgery, and then he'll also get neutered at the same time. So those will both happen September 2nd. And that gives him lots of time to hit that 2 pound goal. He will need anesthesia, but it's an outpatient surgery, so he'll come home that same day. He doesn't need to spend the night, and that's really because it's, you know, a relatively simple procedure. He will have to wear a cone after the surgery, just so that he doesn't mess with the stitches. But he will come home that same day, September 2nd. Okay, so really pretty straightforward. In the meantime, we're going to continue doing the eye ointment 3 times a day. Keep his eye nice and moisturized. That helps prevent those ulcers and damage to his eye while we wait until his surgery. So it's been working so far. You know, hopefully it will keep working for the next month to get us through. All right. So I do have an estimate. It's around $2,100 for both the entropion surgery and neuter together. Around $2,100. I'm not going to fundraise yet. I'm going to wait closer to his surgery date. So hold off on any donations. I'm just letting you know how much we will need to raise, but we can wait until then, and I'll post a specific fundraiser for Jake for that surgery. All right, so pretty straightforward. Nothing too complicated. The only thing the vet had said was it is unusual that Jake's entropion is on his top lid. Usually, in most cases, it's on the bottom lid, but his is on the top. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't make it any more complicated. It's just an interesting piece of information. All right, I don't think I saw any questions. Oh, thank you, Pirate, for setting up a birthday fundraiser, and happy early birthday to you. I know it's your birthday tomorrow. We got a couple birthdays tomorrow. Oh, that's a good question, Robin. So what about his hydrocephalus? You know, I know that Dr. Glass will probably want us to do an MRI. And he's going to need to be at least 2 pounds for that. So I'm not going to, unless he starts showing neuro symptoms, I'm not planning to get Dr. Glass involved until after he's recovered from the eye surgery. At that point, if we want to do an MRI, if we feel it's necessary, we can. We might also just treat the hydrocephalus because it's pretty clear that he has it. So I just don't think I'm gonna have him see Dr. Glass until after we get him through the surgery. That was a good question. And I just need to watch him. You know, if it seems like the hydro is affecting him more, you know, we can get him to Dr. Glass and start him on some medications. That's always a possibility. I'm looking at Elwood and he's got like some patches of fur missing on his chin. And I'm hoping it's just from food. I don't want to be dealing with any ringworm. He had like a chunk of food, so hopefully that's it. I know that the ointment definitely eases the pain. I don't know if it totally gets rid of the pain, but I know that it helps. Just keeping it moisturized. Yeah, it just looks like he has a clump of dried food that was on his chin, and maybe that's what came off. Any other questions? Yeah, babe. He's got a lot of food crusties in general. There's another food crust. I can't reach that. They did not dilate Jake's eyes as far as I know. Although, I don't know actually. I shouldn't say that. I actually don't know. I don't know if the stitches are dissolving. His surgery, I realized driving home I didn't ask about recovery time after the eye surgery. So I'm gonna just shoot them an email and follow up, just asking about what the timeline for recovery looks like. So I'll find out at the same time if the stitches are dissolvable or not. Oh, his pupils were huge. They might have dilated them. I don't know. They don't do all of the tests in front of me. They have them in the back. So I don't know everything that they did. I got a couple cute photos after they brought him back after the exam that I'm gonna put in his album. So check that in the next hour. Really shows off his eye. Yeah, he's totally fine to be with the other kittens. Elwood got tired of me picking food off of his fur, I guess. Oh gosh, no. He was the opposite of a drama llama. He didn't make a peep the whole time. All right, I'm gonna clip this update to the channel in case anyone missed it. They can go back and watch. And if you weren't here in the very beginning, I did have a good close-up of Jake's eyes before I sat down and started my update. So if you're curious what his eyes look like now, you can go to the beginning of that, and we have some good before pictures. Yeah, he's very, very sweet. Jake is, he's quiet, he's gentle. The procedure itself is not risky. It's the anesthesia that's the riskiest thing. But it's not a very long procedure. It's not a complicated procedure. It doesn't usually cause any complications during recovery. It's in cats, it's almost always one and done. There are some rare cases where they need a second kind of quick tune-up, when they're a year old or so. If they've grown and their face has grown, sometimes some of the entropion can reoccur. and they have to do what's just called a touch-up. Sometimes that happens, but it's pretty rare in cats. So this should be after his surgery on September 2nd. We shouldn't need to worry about his eyes anymore. And of course, we don't need to worry about his bottom half after September 2nd either. Yeah. So, you know, by the time he has the surgery, he'll be over 2 pounds. It's a little higher risk because he does have hydrocephalus, and cats with hydrocephalus can have a harder time with anesthesia. Sometimes it takes them a little longer to recover from the anesthesia. So, so I think that's probably the riskiest part of the surgery. Dr. J, I have not been reading your CC, but I assume it's great because everyone seems to understand. I appreciate you jumping in with the CC. All right, sounds good, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, I'll save this to the channel. And then I'm going to follow up with a couple questions to the eye doctor, and I'll let you know what his recovery will look like. All right. September 2nd is his eye surgery, and neuter will be at the same time. All right, I'll be back a little after 2 to pick up Dilly. We're heading to urgent care with her, and she's been having this kind of hacking cough intermittently that started a couple days ago. So we're gonna have that checked out. All right. All right, thanks again, Dr. J. I appreciate it.